There's a storm in the polity over subterranean plots by some political hawks in the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) to woo ex-president Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to the party and get him fielded as the party's 2023 presidential standard bearer. The move is facing stiff resistance from some presidential aspirants of the party who described it as insensitive to the feelings of those who had been laboring to make APC a household name. Their position, nonetheless, the chairman of the Northern Elders Forum (NEF), Professor Ango Abdullahi, described the move as ironic and self-indicting, saying it is an admission of failure by the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. According to Professor Abdullahi, it is ironic, and those who drove out Jonathan in 2015 will now turn back to beg him to join them. Why an irony? These are people who kicked out a president for various reasons, and here they are now admitting that they have failed and they were wrong in kicking Jonathan out of office in 2015, and so they are now asking him to come and help them. Isn't that the irony of the whole thing? Here I'm saying, you have failed and I kicked you out, and then after some time I say, I beg you, come back and take over. I'm sorry for kicking you out in the first place. That is the meaning of the whole thing, he stated. The plot also drew reactions from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) leaders, including Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State, former Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State, and former National Chairman of the PDP and Kaduna State Governor Senator Ahmed Makafi. They spoke as details of how some APC stakeholders convinced President Buhari to buy into the Jonathan project emerged last night. Sources said if the plan sails through, Jonathan will serve for one term and hand over to his vice in Northern from the Northeast geopolitical zone. One of the presidential aspirants of the party from Benue State, Chief Moses Ayom, advised the former president not to bow to the pressure to join APC and seek its presidential ticket. According to him, those putting pressure on Jonathan to do so are heartless and insensitive to the plight of others. I advise him not to cave into the pressure of the wicked, who are heartless and insensitive to people's plight, he stated. Another presidential aspirant, Ihechukwu Dallas Chima, said the APC was on its way to extinction. I see the APC on its pathway to extinction, and as such, little effort can be made to call the leaders of the party to order. If after 7 years of APC's existence as a party, persons who don't mean well for the party would decide to bring a former president that Nigerians rejected at the polls to come back after 7 years to fly the party's flag, then this is really a negative development. As an APC chieftain and presidential aspirant for the 2023 presidential election, I use this opportunity to tell the leaders of our party to rescind that negative step, he cautioned. On his part, the Tinubu support group TSG said everyone was welcome to the race because the more the merrier, but he noted that it is not enough to drop the name of the president in order to win the ticket. Head of media of TSG, Tonsi Adeyanju, said the APC could not afford to pick a candidate who is not popular. Asked to respond to Jonathan's planned move to the APC, Adeyanju said, the more the merrier, will welcome everyone to the race. Alhaji Ahmed Bola Tinubu is a Democrat who believes in a democratic contest. We are focused on the primaries, which is what the party constitution stipulates. We equally are reaching out to all delegates coming from the primaries. Other aspirants before him, Jonathan, had equally dropped the president's name as the anointed one. The party must choose the most popular aspirants at the primaries in order for APC to be able to win the general election, and our principle fits into this. Jonathan would have to submit his credentials and records to the party delegates for scrutiny. Asiwaju's record speaks for him, and that is why he's running on his records and democratic credentials. Also a chieftain of the APC in Ekiti State, Senator Ayo Arishi, said The timing does not favor Jonathan, adding that winning the APC ticket and going ahead to win the general election was not just about money but also selling his ideas to the people. According to the senator, the problem that existed during Jonathan's time are still with us in Nigeria. We're still facing them as a political party. He added, Jonathan knew what he went through, and I believe that the decision would be for him to take based on his experience on that seat. If he thinks that he has the magic solutions, there is no president coming in that will still not face many of these. But we're expecting that as we grow politically and in terms of our exposure to development outside the country, there are issues that may require new hands to resolve. But for me as a person, I don't know how he's going to get the votes unless we now believe that it is the president who will select his successor. If that is the case, then it is risky. But I believe that the way things are now on ground, those who are ready for these posts are already canvassing, spending money, and they are talking to delegates, and everyone has his strategy different from the other. It is the same pool that is expected to come in and say, yes, I want to be president, now under APC. There will be a lot more than money. I want to believe that he will have more information than expected about what he wants to be. As far as I'm concerned, if the party says that is what they want, and that is who they want, for me, there are several ways that the person can be packaged. It is left for his handlers to ask him to do that, to know what he has in stock and how he intends to win the primary. Meanwhile, Governor Benedict Ayade of Cross River State pledged to support former President Jonathan if the APC presents him as the party's flag bearer for the 2023 election. Governor Ayade stated this while briefing the State House correspondents after a meeting with President Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. He announced that he had secured the president's nod to hold consultations over his own presidential ambition, fielding questions on whether he would contest the APC presidential primaries against Dr. Jonathan if the latter decides to run. Ayade said he had respect for the former president, adding that if it was the decision of the APC to field Jonathan, he would support him. The governor explained that he was at the presidential villa to seek direction from Buhari on how to align in the run-up to the 2023 polls, noting that he would do whatever the president directs. He pointed out that he did not tell Buhari that he wanted to join the presidential race, as he observed that it was not decent to tell an office holder that one was interested in taking over his office. He, however, said the president expressed delight that he did not speak of his desire to succeed him in office, but gave him the go-ahead to hold consultations on the matter while Buhari watches him. Ayade went on to spell out the program of action for the country if he becomes the president next year, stressing that his administration would concentrate on three key areas: security, employment, and economy. The governor reiterated his position that the next governor of Cross River State will come from the Southern Senatorial District, adding that he would not play God by anointing his own successor, declaring that whoever will emerge will come through the democratic process.